So on that day we were looking at problem of getting successive differences, right? So let me just quickly come back to that. So you have the initial sequence. Yes, not. And the initial sequence here is, if we take squares, then the first order difference, so D1 first order difference is 3, 5, 7, and so on. Second order difference is 2, 2, and so on. And third order difference becomes a 0, 0, and so on. Right? And we made some observations. We made and we also posed some questions. Right? Yeah. So what all have we observed? So what all do we know about this so far? If one of you can list down, and what questions have you posed? Take some time.
Yeah, so we had tried to see if this holds for higher powers. We have tried to prove this for squares and cubes. Shankar had made the observation, if there is an AC in one of the levels, then it will follow. And we had seen that for squares, the AP comes in level 1. For cubes, the AP comes in level 2. For fourth powers, AP comes in level 3, and so on. And we'd also seen that the constant, the common difference in the APs is 2, 6, 24, 120, which are n factorial.
Okay, right. So the common difference, or basically if you go one stage next to the AP,
yeah.
So the first constant column. So this is the first constant column.
Yeah.
Right. This is the column next to AP, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the first constant. So first constant column. First constant column starting from squares is, you have 2, then you have 6, and then you have 24, and then you have 120, and Shankar made this observation that these are all basically n factorial. So if you take n power k, then the constant term would be k factorial. Right. So have you proved that for n squared? Okay, you had raised a question, right? Now we have just considered 4 numbers here, and we see that it is reaching 0 and the constant 2. Will it always happen? Will it always happen for cubes? Right? So
yeah,
we'll be able to, yeah, fine.
Yeah, for squares it is fairly straightforward, because the first level difference is itself the AP column. For cubes, similarly, by taking the equation for column 2, the first degree difference, we can show that the next column will be in AP. So we can prove it as a special case for cubes.
Based on this one, we can find out the nth term using these 2, 6, 24, and 21.
Very nice. Jagdish sir gave a method, in fact, to find the formula for the initial sequence, that is S0, by using this method, in fact. So he gave a very nice method. We will go into that method in some time. So one question is, okay, so if you take squares, cubes, and so on, we are reaching this 0 stage, right? Is it possible that for some sequence, for some initial sequence, we'll never reach this 0 stage? Is it possible? Never.
Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci sequence. So we also saw that.
You had asked, I think we've not yet answered.
Oh, okay, nice. So if you take S0 as a Fibonacci sequence, you can try it out and see what D1, D2, D3, D4, and all is. If you're not already tried it, right? But can you think of some more sequences which will never which will never reach the zero stage? And Fibonacci sequence is just one member of the general class.
Anything which has that the n plus 1th term is the sum of nth term and n minus
Right,
1.
sir. Right. The entire class of that, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything beyond that?
I think whatever we cannot represent as a polynomial will not follow this.
Okay, nice.
So S0, if it can be represented as a polynomial, or no.
Okay, nice. Okay. So now you can the further response you can put it in chat. Okay. For others, the challenge is, can you come up with some few sequences, few S naughts, for which you never get a zero? And Fibonacci sequence, as we just discussed, with different starting states, will have this property, right? So can you give few more examples? Can you construct few more sequences for which you'll never get a zero? And just to continue with that, so for cubes, Gauri ma'am told that for cubes, also it is clear why it should end in stage 4. If you just look at the expression, right? And yeah, I think you have found out a way to predict the formula for the. So if the first stage is, if the starting sequence is n cube, then for the first order difference, you are able to give the formula for this, right? So what would be the formula for this D1?
3n squared plus 3n plus 1. Then what's that out?
Yes. So basically, how do we get that?
N plus 1 whole cube minus n cube.
N plus 1 the whole cube minus n cube, right? So one thing is we can actually use we can expand this and then subtract it with n cube. Or we also saw that this is of the form. It is same. Okay, so if you just look at n plus 1 the whole squared minus n squared, we could either expand n plus 1 the whole square and then separate it with n square, or we can use the a square minus b square factorization, which is nothing but a plus b into a minus b, right? And here n and n gets cancelled, and this is just 2n plus 1. We get immediately using this a square minus b square term, right? So we also went into, we also looked into this question of a power n minus b power n. What can you say about that? So Shankar had given a formula for this. So we have a squared minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. A cube minus b cube would be a minus b. Let me rewrite this. A minus b into a plus b. This is a squared plus ab plus b squared. So similarly, what would a power 4 be? Minus b power 4b, a power 5 minus b power 5b. And in general, we can try to generalize. And can we also prove why this generalization is true? So this was another line which we considered. Very interesting, very interesting. Gauri ma'am has given the initial sequence is not as the digits of pi, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 9. And she claims that this will never reach 0. Yeah, but whatever sequence you give, you must be able to find the nth term, even if you're not able to represent it in a formula.
Digits of pi, I don't think they have a general term, right? Because it is non-terminating, non-repeating. So they don't follow certain pattern. So I don't think we can come up with a generalized term for digits of pi, right?
Okay, but can we find nth term if you want to? Say, I want to evaluate the value of pi for 100 digits. Can I do it?
I times 10 to the power of n mod 10 to the power of n minus 1. So, right?
Okay, so yeah, what is the sequence? New sequence. So this is a new sequence, right?
No, no, no. I was saying how you could find the nth term and the sequence of digits of pi.
Oh yeah, yeah. So go ahead. How?
So pi times 10 to the power of n mod 10 to the power of n minus 1 should give the nth digit, no? 9 pi times
Oh. Exactly. Now, how will you evaluate this? How will you know this?
That is the problem, no? That is the problem with pi, right? So we, it is not ending. It is not terminating, first of all, and and it is also non-repeating.
So, with this being the case, how did the people evaluate its value for so many digits? What made it possible?
Sir, I have a small question here. Sir, up to 7th and 8th children will learn that is pi as a rational number, okay? Then immediately when they come to class 9, above, immediately they say pi is an irrational.
No, pi. See, that is the thing. The teacher is actually doing a lot of. Even I have heard of this thing. Even when we used to discuss with the teachers, they say that see, in some of the textbooks also it is given as pi as irrational number, but pi as rational number. So this problem has to be addressed actually.
No, whenever solving a problem of radius of a circle problem, they take it as 22 by 7, right? Every pi value they'll take it as 22 by 7.
That is
Okay.
approximate value. That is another.
Then immediately they switch on to irrational number. When they come to class 9, it is irrational, they will say.
Exactly. First of all, the teachers themselves, they say that pi is equal to 22 by 7, but actually pi is not equal to 22 by 7.
It is not 22.
Pi is just approximated to 22 by 7.
22 7. They don't say that one. Yeah.
And also adding to the list of questions that we have posed now, what is this k factorial doing here? How did we get this k factorial at first place? If you start with n power k as a starting sequence, the constant term k factorial, can we explain this somehow? Does anyone here know familiar with calculus, differentiation?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So,
But it's been long. I've been into calculus. It's been quite long.
All right.
But probably I can understand. If you say I can understand, but not quickly, but I can understand.
Okay, yeah. I'm just like just sort of giving an analogy here. So here, if you start with n power k, and if you look at the first order difference, second order difference, and so on, the kth order difference would be k factorial. Like so, this is what our observation is. Right? So instead of taking the successive differences, if you take successive difference, if you take the derivative of n power k, so dy, say we'll keep it as d by dk of n power k, then d by dn of n power k, then d square by dn of n power k, and so on. If you keep on doing it, instead of taking the successive difference, if you take the derivative, interestingly, you would get the same thing. Yeah, but it's just an analogy. Both are two different entities, but there seems to be some commonality. Nice. So Gauri ma'am has been able to extend these observations and give a general formula for a power n minus b power n. Very nice. Very nice. So just also try to see if you can prove why this is the case. So if factorizing a polynomial is always a very useful tool to study it. And now we have been able to factorize a power n minus b power n. Nice.
So one thing I found was, so right now we did it with just n squared, n cubed, n to the power of 4. Instead, if you take an entire expression like n cubed plus 2n squared plus 1, or 4n cube minus 3n square plus 7, something.
Excellent, excellent. So now, yeah, we were coming to
So,
the region of
yeah.
what the teacher was saying. Yes.
So what I found was then the constant that it gets to, so for example, 4n cube, the constant the difference, the common difference comes to be 24, which is 6 times 4, the coefficient. I tried again with 5n cube, something.
Yeah. Nice. So just hold on. I'll just pose this observation as a question to others. So now we saw that. If the starting sequence is n naught, the starting sequence is n cube, then the third order difference would be 6, right? It will be 6 all through. Now the question is, if the starting sequence had been 3 times n cube, what would this difference be? Now, okay, now it's not is 3 times n cube, and then you take successive difference of that sequence. Then what would this be? So, Akka, now are you able to see? Or I think you already saw it, right?
The constant, what's happening to the constant, I can see.
Okay, fine. But like how? Okay, so now if you take a polynomial in n, right? And if whatever we observed is true, right? At what stage it reaches 0? What is the first constant term, right? So if all these things are true, then will you be able to predict how this polynomial will behave?
How it will behave?
How this will behave in the sense, how many stages will it go? When will it reach 0? What will be the constant term before 0? These kind of questions.
Okay, based on what we know about n squared and n cube and 4 n to the power of 4, can we predict for any polynomial? That's the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Fine. So this is what Jagdish sir was saying. So
okay.
he was using this property given a sequence, given an arbitrary sequence, to find its formula. If you know that it is a polynomial sequence.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
Now, let me give or Jagdish sir, you can give a sequence. Don't reveal the formula. You can give a sequence of numbers, and others can try to find its formula. So he's going to give a polynomial sequence only, some polynomial sequence. So using that, try to So just to give the sequence, try to reduce its formula.
Okay. Shall I give it now?
Yes. I will record it.
4, 14, 4, 14, 40, 88, 164.
Okay, fine. 4, 14, 40, 88. So can the challenge that Ravi sir is posing to all is find its formula. First of all, what is the pattern of the sequence? Something you should find out. So it's not is 4, 14, 40, 88, 164, and so on. Jagdish sir, could you find any starting sequence which will go on indefinitely without reaching 0?
No, this is reaching AP in the second stage. It has to reach 0.
No. Yes. The question is, what is the formula of this initial sequence? Can you find the formula?
General formula for the sequence. Okay.
Start with what would be the next term of this 164? Can anyone tell me?
274.
274.
Excellent. So in fact, this analysis of looking at its successive differences is actually helping us to look at the pattern behind this sequence. Yes. So now, can I come up with its formula based on what we already, suppose we assume that the properties that we have conjectured are true. So So we form the difference table. First order difference would be 10, 26, 48, 76. Second order difference would be 16, 22, 28, 34, and the constant term here is 6. And then you have D4 as a 0.
Yeah, we can do.
Very nice.
We can find the gender. See, the thing is that.
Can you put it in chat? Can you put it in chat?
Yeah, okay.
The idea, yeah. And if you also found the formula, please put your formula also. Yeah, it is easy to verify if you got the formula or not by just substituting. Nice, Shankar. So did you substitute and verify it?
Yeah, like I told before. See, can I say it? Yes, I can say it. It's actually not that difficult to comprehend. So the thing is, as I pinged you, I told you that it is arriving at a common difference at difference 3 D3. So
Yes.
it has to be a cubic expression. So I took the cubic expression as a general expression, which is ax cube plus bx square plus
Yeah.
bx.
Right. I got it. So did you, the last formula that you got, right? Did you substitute values and verify if you're getting 4, 14?
Exactly. So you need to substitute for x equal to 1, x equal to 2, so that you get the first difference general term. Once you get the D1 term, then D2 term, D3 term, and
Right,
then
right.
you need to solve for ABC separately.
Okay, fine. So this final formula that you have got, is that?
I think I had pinged you.
Yes. So is that giving you 4, 14, 40, 88?
Yes, I checked it.
Very nice. So yes, so now we have a method, right? So the successive difference is actually allowing us to generate a formula, right?
Generate a formula for any kind of series, unless and until it follows a particular pattern.
So anything that so you can find the formula for any sequence that follows a pattern, right?
Exactly. So any sequence, if it is arriving at a constant difference, then you can definitely find a general expression for that particular series.
General expression for
That is very important.
So what
I forgot to mention that.
What kind of sequences will not lead to a constant? That is still something which
which we are actually searching upon. I mean, for example, one can be the normal Fibonacci itself, which we are actually researching upon. And I don't think any series that can be expressed in the form of algebraic expression, I think it will definitely reach, at some stage, it will definitely reach the common difference.
Okay, algebraic expression means, what do you mean? What all operations will be involved?
In any expression that can be represented in the using the binomial theorem, for example.
Okay. So basically, any polynomial kind of thing.
Polynomial, yeah.
So if any polynomial.
Problem comes if you are dealing with rational powers. Like for example, x bar 3 by 2 plus 2x plus 1. Okay, that is not
interesting. But the thing is here for now, yes. So this is a very good point. For now, we are just looking at integer values only.
Integer values.
Yeah. So these things, thankfully, is already ruled out. But then, yes, you have a point. So basically, any polynomial with only integer powers. So one thing, instead of taking, so I will give one example here. I'll give an example here. Let's take s naught equal to 2 power n. What do you think will happen?
So this 2 power n series also, I think it will never reach 0. I don't think it will reach 0.
Right. So do you see any connection between this 2 power n and the Fibonacci sequence? Then does it look like Fibonacci? Does Fibonacci sequence look like 2 power n sister?
Yeah. Then I think that works even for 3 power and 4 power n, I think.
Interesting.
think so. I need to check it out.
Interesting.
The reason why this will not lead to 0 is that any difference, at any stage, if you take the difference, it's going to be in the form of 2 power n minus 1. 2 power some format it will be. So, and 2 power some format, it can never be equal to 0. If you suppose that it is equal to 0, if you take log on both sides, log 0 is not defined. So definitely this difference can never be equal to 0.
Sir, 2 to the power of n, if you take a paper folding, suppose you take a one sheet and one sheet of paper fold it. So in one fold, you get two part, that is a bisect what you say, no? When a line is bisecting, take a draw, that is, if you draw one bisector, you get two parts. When you draw two bisector, that when you two folds, you get a 4 parts. Then it become a 2 to the power of 1, 2 square, 2 cube and everything, number of folds. Okay, then it never ends to 0. If you come back once again, suppose 2, 4, 8, 16 it commit. So when you commit 2 to the power of 0, then you don't get it 0 at all there.
Correct.
That way also we can look it now, right, sir?
Yeah. So, Akka, do you have any, can you justify why this will happen, why this is the case? If I ask you to justify, how would you justify?
Yeah, because the differences will continue in the same pattern. They will continue to be in geometric series. So,
okay, same pattern. What is that pattern?
GP.
geometric.
Given sequence is GP, right? So this can naturally raise another question, saying that if a given series is in the form of a GP, will it not lead to 0 at all?
Ah,
This leads to another question also.
very nice, very nice.
Any sequence which is in the form of a GP, geometric progression, can we say that it can never lead, the common difference can never lead to 0?
Yes.
This is one more question which we can actually work upon.
What about harmonic function, sir? It is also same, right? You don't get 0 or not?
Harmonic we need to check, sir. Harmonic also is actually the next thing that we need to look out for. Once you're done with AP and GP, obviously we need to check for HP also.
Then when you don't get it in JP, then how do you get it in harmonic, right?
No, we are not sure, right, whether it is not working for 2 power n.
So if
yeah, just in case, yeah.
Just
Sunil, you have given 3 expressions. Which one is that?
Shiv, the first one is for the AP. Second one is the quadratic one, and the third one is
the given sequence. So the sequence which Jagdish sir gave.
Yeah.
The formula is the third one.
That's a formula. Sir.
Okay, that is a formula for the third one, right?
Yes. Sir.
But actually, if I substitute n equal to 1, right, I'm not getting 4, right? Oh, wait.
No, I think you will get it.
Oh, right. Wait. Did you check if you get all the numbers?
I checked for 2 values.
Nice. Oh, this seems to be a different answer. Okay, let us see. I'm going to check. No, I'm having one question. So now one interesting thing happened. Sunil gave one answer, and others gave an answer. So basically, can a given sequence have 2 different formulas generating the same sequence? Is it possible?
So actually, that formula is correct.
Oh, nice. Oh,
I think I have written the coefficients as fractions. So that may be. Others would have got coefficients as whole numbers.
Correct. So I'm just wondering. Okay, yeah. So Sunil, you can tell out your formula. I'll just note it down here. Just a moment. We'll go to the sequence which Jagdish sir gave. 14, 40, 88, 164. What is the next term, Sunil? Okay, fine. Yeah, so what is the formula you got?
It's 4 by 3 x cube n cube, yeah, plus 2 by 3 n plus 2.
Plus 2.
Yes, 2.
Okay, Shankar, what is the formula that you got? What is the formula that you got for this sequence?
Final formula is n cube plus 2n square minus 3n plus 4.
N cube plus 2n square minus
3n
plus 4.
plus 4.
Okay, so now I'm just trying to think. Sunil is saying that he verified this formula and it works for all the numbers. And
Okay, let me check the next number. 160.
See, when you say pattern, whenever we say pattern, at least 3 numbers you have to check.
No, sir, I have checked for 4 numbers.
Okay, 1 second. But has given even Gauri ma'am has given same one. I saw that.
yeah. This one. Okay, very interesting. No, actually, I think he's correct. Sunil is correct. So four fellows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Fifth fellow might be a problem. So maybe if you take. Okay. Now I understand what is happening. So actually, if you see, Sunil was right. This formula fits the first 4 numbers. Are you seeing that?
Yes, it is. It is working for n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I need to check for 5.
Very interesting. What is happening here? Huh?
Let's check for 5.
Very nice, Sunil. Very nice.
Sure, it doesn't work for 5.
Oh. Okay, but nice. So, but Jagdish sir had just stopped with till 88, right? If you had just stopped till 88, then you see Sunil's formula also fits, right? Till 4. If you just remove this term, okay, then we have 2 formulas which is giving this. Right, so now what does this show, or what can you tell about this? Is one question. And Sunil, yeah, how do you come up with this extraordinary formula?
It was a very elaborate procedure.
Can you just take a photo of it and send it to me? Or you can explain it and I'll keep writing it in the board. Yeah, now.
Shankar is right. I just worked with 4 numbers that Jagdish sir gave.
Oh, okay. Now I understood. So you not follow this difference approach at all. Yes. Okay, so now actually, with these 5 numbers, I can give another formula. I can give a formula different than this.
Yes.
Okay, I can generate. Yes, I can give another formula. So this is a challenge to all of you. Okay. Now, can you give me another formula which is polynomial formula? We'll just stick to polynomial formula. It will exactly give this. Yeah. So if you want
Raise another question. So up to how many numbers should we actually consider in order to come up with the general formula?
Wow.
Yeah.
What a question. Wow. Super. How many numbers should you define? Of the sequence should you specify so that you have a unique formula for that? Unique
exactly. Whether it is 5 terms or 6 terms or up to 10 terms, something like that. But for certain things and all, it is quite evident. So for example, the one which you gave, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 and all, by seeing only we can say that the general formula is 2 power n. That is actually quite a straightforward one. But for series like this,
sir, ಒಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಲಾ?
No. Wait.
Okay, sir. Mathematics meeting ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
Even
ಒಂದು math meeting ಇದೆ. Math meeting is there.
We will take this. We will take this.
Okay.
Just 248. We'll just take 248 for now. Okay, 248. So I've just given these three numbers. Okay. Something has not. Now, don't you think we can come up with another formula that will exactly give 248 when n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3? Don't you think it is possible? Sunil, I think you'll be able to get it, no?
It is 2 to the power of n.
We can get it. Only if it is 2, 4, n.
2, 4, 8.
Okay, wait. So yeah, you just give me a few moments. I will
No.
N square minus n plus 2.
Yes, I'm getting the same thing.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, Sunil. So now we'll start with Sunil now. How did you get this 4 by 3 n cube plus 2 by 3 n plus 2, Sunil? Can you explain that?
Yes, it's very elaborate, but I formed 4 linear equations.
Right. Right. So that is the crux here, right? So Shankar, now what was your method?
Same thing.
Same thing, right?
Same thing, but that depends upon the number of constants, right? Number of constants that we are actually trying to find.
The degree of the polynomial, basically, right?
Exactly.
So what will you choose as a degree? Sunil, what will you choose as a degree of the polynomial?
Cubic polynomial.
So on what basis you? So couldn't you have chosen it as 4th power or 5th power or 6th power? For this question 4, 14, 40, 88, 264, can't we find a 5th degree polynomial that will fit this?
5th degree polynomial, you are saying?
So in fact,
no, I don't think that is possible.
You don't think that's possible?
I don't think so, because the moment the zero difference is reached in fourth difference itself. For the fourth difference for this particular series or sequence is actually 0.
Okay, right. Then what if I give you a 5th degree polynomial for this?
For this one?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I need to check then. Even if you give, I need to check. Go and check back, right? That is it.
Definitely. But my claim is, I'm just claiming that it will fit these 5 numbers which are given. That is my only claim. Okay.
So yeah, that I'll not agree. See, the thing is that if you consider only this five numbers, then you can come up with any degree kind of equation. That's not the thing. So, but the thing is that it has to be a sequence, right? It should continue. It should not stop with 164. It has to continue.
True. See, for example, now once I give a polynomial like this here, n square minus n plus 2, this is a sequence, right? So now when n equal to 4, this would be 16 minus 4 plus 2, which is 14. So you automatically have a continuation. So once you have if I'm able to give 5th degree polynomial for this, okay, I can always continue it beyond this also. That's not a problem, right? For the sequence which is 4, 14, 40, 88, 64, can I come up with a higher degree polynomial? What is the maximum degree possible? Okay, all these questions come up, right? And interestingly, we can answer all these questions. That is the power of algebra here. And also another question which Shankar asked: how many numbers should you fix so that you have a unique formula? So now, yeah, Shankar, now you can give your method. So basically, we'll start with that difference table. 4, 14. What's the next number?
40,
20,
40, 88, 164.
88, 164, and 274.
274 is what we predicted. So this is what sorry here. So now Shankar considered the first difference. 10,
26,
26, then
48,
76.
76, and the second difference is 16,
22, 28.
16, 22, 28. So based upon this 16, 22, 28, I predicted the next difference to be 6. So 28, 34, then 34 plus 76 will be 110. 110 plus 164 is 274. So in order to create the sequence, I think you need to consider the second, third differences.
Why? This is one viewpoint, right? This is just one viewpoint. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Probably my viewpoint. Yeah.
Ah.
But actually, it's an interesting fact.
Then again, one if you write it
Simple algebra,
164,
but
then
simple algebra, but it involves lot of things.
yeah, no. The fact that we can come up with, so first of, now we have two formulas for this. To come up with the third formula itself, can we come up with the third formula itself is a very interesting question. It's not.
yes. Then if you get it third formula means it must be it won't, you can't generalize for a unique sequence for this. Unique formula for this one. If you get third one formula, if you get it for this sequence, then definitely you don't get it a unique formula for this.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That is the reason I raised another question: up to how many
How many terms? Yeah.
How many terms?
to have, so that we can have only one unique expression.
Very nice. Yes, Sunil, what do you think about it?
When there are 4 variables, right? I fix the degree of the polynomial, and then that there are 4 variables. Therefore, there must be 4 values. There must be 4 values to solve those equations, right? Those 4 equations.
Actually, I have another question for Sunil. So, by just seeing the numbers, how did you actually predicted that it is a cubic expression? Actually, for me to figure out it's a cubic expression, I need to find the difference. You need to go up to certain difference.
So for this, I mean, this problem was obvious, right?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't obvious. At least for me, it wasn't obvious, man. Come on.
No, see, at what level you will get the arithmetic progression? At which level?
Yeah, yes, Shiva.
The previous level must be a quadratic one, and the previous one must be a cubic one, right?
That actually you know only when you find the difference, right?
Yeah. So looking at the difference only,
looking at the difference only.
Yeah.
So you got an idea of what the polynomial degree is, and then you're trying to equate it. So that is a common theme among all these things. Sunil, just looking at the 4 values, he started with the cubic directly. That was one difference. Now, one more method which we can actually do here is if what we have seen is if what we have conjectured and observed is actually true, right? That is, you start if S0 is n cube, then the constant term is 6, right? If you just have that, then let us just go along with that line. Okay, now suppose if the starting sequence is n cube, okay, then d1, d2, d3 would be 6, d4 would be 0, right? This we know. Suppose if the starting sequence is 3n cube, can you tell me what would d3 be?
18, yeah.
18. Excellent. So if S0 is 3n cube, we know this is 18, right? So now, suppose if the starting sequence has been n cube plus n squared, just let us assume that n cube plus n squared. If this is the starting sequence, how many stages will it go? D1, D2. When will it reach the constant? When will it reach 0?
D4 only, sir.
Till D3 only.
D4 only constant.
D3 constant, D4 0.
0. D4 is 0.
Right? So now what would be the constant term here?
D4 term. 0 only.
Here?
6 only, yeah.
6
no,
only?
No. Yeah, 6 only.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Others?
Yes, sir, it is 6 only.
Yes, sir. Others, are you able to see why? But you actually work it out. So if you have n cube plus n square, what can you tell about D3? Okay. So now you have, suppose you know for a sequence, we'll just keep it as what do I do? Okay, I have a sequence A. I have a sequence A which is showing certain behavior, and I have a sequence B which is showing another behavior. Now suppose I have a polynomial a plus b. Okay, what will be the behavior of d1, d2, b? Suppose a is something which reaches at d10 it reaches 0 and d9 some constant, and b is something which reaches 0 at d5 and d4 is some constant k2. Okay, now suppose I take a plus b. Can you characterize how the stages will evolve for a plus b? Okay, so if you make an analysis of this, then you will see that there is another way of solving it. Okay, and Jagdish sir's method is, so the method which Jagdish sir told was this. So he mentioned the method, but the reason behind why it works, if you want to actually understand it, try to think along these lines. Okay, right. So we can think about it and continue this next session.